Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today I'm going to do a review that I've already done. Keep watching to find out more. Okay, so welcome back. If you're a regular viewer of the channel and you've been with us from the start, then you'll probably remember me doing a pretty awful review video of the Brita Marella water filter, which I'll link up here and you can have a look. I'd recommend you probably don't know because it is an awful video and I was feeling rather rough at the time, but being the trooper that I am, I went ahead and did the video regardless. So this is the Brita Marella water filter. Now this is designed so that you can get beautiful tasting water directly from your tap. Now this device is designed to be replaced filter-wise once a month or thereabouts, or every 100 litres. So if you're not a great water drinker but you still want filtered water and great tasting water, then the filter is going to last you a lot longer. If you're a family of 3 or 4 and you're all drinking water regularly, then obviously the needs are going to change and you'll need to change your filter more often. Now this particular one, the reason why I'm doing this review is, and unboxing for that matter, is because this is currently on special offer at our local co-op stores for only £5. Yep, that's right, just £5. And this model, or this particular SKU, only comes with 1 filter, whereas generally they tend to come with 3 filters as standard. And also you can buy separate packs of filters, which are 3, 6s, 12s, etc. But I think this is a promotion. Whether or not it's still available in stores near you, I wouldn't like to say, but if you go to your local co-op, check it out, you may well be lucky and you may well find one. If not, there's going to be links in the description below so you can pick one of these up on Amazon, either in the UK, the US or Canada. So anyway, that's enough about the intro. Let's get this thing open and see what we actually get inside the box. Now it's going to come to no surprise to anybody whatsoever, but inside the box you get a water filter. You also get a set of instructions, which really shouldn't be that necessary. Now this, in case you're wondering, is a plastic jug, not a glass jug, and has been designed to be nice and narrow to fit in the door of most refrigerators. So you can have your tap water nice and clean and clear and cool. Not so much of a problem this time of year in England, but a few months ago then this would have been perfect. Maybe that's why they're reduced to £5 at the moment. So as you can see, this thing is pretty much assembled out of the box. Now inside you get your Brita Maxtra Plus filter. You get a product registration guide. And you get the filter housing, which if I remember rightly goes that way around. So all you do is take your filter, which I think has got some kind of charcoal in there, maybe. Sounds like sand, but I don't think it's sand. And all you do is simply just push it into the bottom. So you hear a click and it locks into place. Yeah, that's definitely in place. And just fill it with water. Then you put your lid back on, and on the top there is actually a timer which will help you work out how long the filter's been in there. So once you put it in there, best thing to do is to fill it up completely twice and just pour the contents away, or use it to water your plants or whatever. You should really wash out the Brita filter before you put it in, but obviously for the sake of this video I haven't done. But just take it, give it a rinse under the tap just in case there's anything on there that shouldn't be on there, any loose bits of plastic or anything like that. That's recommended. I'll be honest with you, most people probably won't do that, so probably like me, you're just going to stick it straight in there and run a couple of bits of water through it, job done. But anyway, so you put your cap on, press and hold the start button, and then it will light up to 100%, and as time goes by that will gradually go down, reminding you when you need to change your filter. Now if you want to, you can just let it run down, then press it again and get another month out of it. So if you're not using it a great deal, you can kind of judge it for yourself. You can normally tell when it needs changing because the water starts tasting bad again, or doesn't taste as good as it did. So use your own taste buds as a guide of when it needs changing. Okay, so sorry about the brief interlude, but I kind of remembered some of the feedback I got from my previous video, which wasn't great, to be honest with you. So I figured I would try and answer some of the questions I had in the previous video in this video. Now, one of them was, how long does it take to filter the jug of water? Which, to be honest with you, I never actually answered the question, and I still don't really know the answer now because I've never stuck around long enough to find out. I've just poured the water in, stuck it in the fridge, and then gone back later and had a drink. So not entirely sure how long it takes. So in the interest of science and a review, I figured I'd try it. Now this actually holds 2.4 litres of water. I couldn't find anything which held 2.4 litres of water. So recycling, got a plastic bottle, filled it with water out of the tap, and we're going to stick it in here and see how long it takes to filter through. Now I have actually washed the filter out as recommended in the Brita instructions. So if you can see there's any water in there already, then that is purely where it's been rinsed out already. So let's pour this in. Now I could do with a stopwatch, but I haven't got one on me, so I'll use the counter on the camera and I'll update it later to let you know how long it takes, or roughly how long it takes. So far that's managed to get just over, I would estimate, maybe 1.25 litres. So you can't fill it up with 2.4 litres straight off. Now the reason for that is obviously because there's a filter in there and the water's got to filter through and bring itself up to a level. Once it's gone down, you can obviously top it right back up. So the full capacity of this, completely full, is about 2.4 litres. But if you just want to fill it for once and quickly just put it in the fridge, then realistically I would say if you say a litre, just over a litre, then you're pretty much on the money. So we're going to carry on timing this, and we'll put some music in the background maybe, or just fast forward the video. I don't know until I edit it, but let's see how long this takes. Okay, so that's taken roughly about 10 minutes to, it's not entirely finished, it's still doing a little bit. It's basically waiting now for the kind of the water table within itself to kind of neutralize or settle, or whatever the technical logical word is for it. But basically that's taken about 10 minutes to do the initial first litre. So at any point you can just put in more water. So I'm going to go ahead now and put the rest of this 2 litre bottle in. Now I guess the kind of the idea behind this whole setup is you don't fill it up every time completely, you don't let it run completely dry. So what you do is you use it a little bit and then top it up every now and then just to keep it up to a level, so there's always kind of a litre and a half of fresh water in there, which is a pretty good idea. And also having to fill the whole thing up in one go can be a bit of a pain, a bit time consuming, at least if you're only putting a little bit in now and then. It's obviously a lot quicker to do. Just a quick splash under the tap and you're done. So that is pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about on this video. Now the other thing which Kath has actually mentioned to me is, one thing is, how good is it at pouring? Now that is going to be a very good question. So I'm going to go ahead now and put the lid back on. Appears to fit in quite snugly. Now all of this is dishwasher safe, apart from obviously the filter itself, which you wouldn't want to put in the dishwasher because that would be a totally bad idea. But the lid itself, because it's got the little electrical timer in there, that is definitely a bad idea to put it in a dishwasher. You can wash it by hand or just give it a wipe over the cloth, and they recommend you basically wash this whole thing out every time you change the filter, which makes sense. If you need to wipe it or anything, just use a damp cloth, and you can use that to get rid of any marks or stains. But what I already noticed actually, even in just doing this initial testing, is how crystal clear that water actually looked. Now I've already poured away the water that was in the bottle, but when I had the bottle stood next to the filter, you can actually see quite a significant difference in the colour between the water that it was in the bottle and the water which has come out of here. Now obviously the plastic of the bottle may be a little bit tarnished anyway over time, and this is brand spanking new out of the packet, so it's going to be in its kind of optimum condition. But there was definitely a noticeable difference. So let's see how well this thing pours. Okay, so I wanted to try that first of all before I did it. So if you notice the blip in the camera, then that's because we tried something out because we weren't entirely sure whether it's going to work or not. But we were wondering whether or not, if when there's still water in the top section being filtered, if you pour, whether it's all going to kind of spill out. But this thing is in actually pretty damn good, and if you do pour it, then the water does move, but it doesn't come out. So the only thing that comes out is the filtered water. And there's a tiny little drip on the spout, but nothing too major. And the spout actually closes up really well and is got quite a good seal on there, so you're not going to get any nasties in with your water. And now, once the lid is on, you can fill it up under the tap just by flipping that bit up. So it's nice and easy to do. And it's not massively heavy, although there's probably the best part of 2 litres of water in there, plus the container, plus the filter. It's not massively heavy, so you're not going to do yourself any kind of injuries trying to get it in or out of the fridge. So they say the proof is in the pudding, but we've already had our pudding, so we need to wash it down with something. So let's try some nice clear H2O. Now actually, this glass is probably a good few years old, but I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but that water is so clear. That is insanely clear. Now we've actually got a filtered water dispenser on our LG fridge in the kitchen, and I don't think the water comes out as clear as that. Anyway, let's try it and see what it tastes like. That tastes really weird. That is what water, I guess, is supposed to taste like. Although saying that, they do say you're supposed to run this through twice and not drink the first lot of filtered water, so maybe it's that. So there it is. There's some super clear water. Now I'm going to run this through another couple of times, and then I'm going to come back and I'm actually going to taste what this water tastes like, because they say you're not supposed to taste the first lot or the second lot. Third lot's okay. I can't see it doing you any harm, but I'm going to do what they said anyway, just to give you guys the absolute honest to God truth about what this water tastes like after it's been filtered. So it'll take another 10 minutes or so to do this, so I'm not going to bore you to death with that. So we'll be back after this short break. Okay, so that's all the filtration done for the initial setup. So we'll fill this up a couple of times, got rid of the water, watered the plants, etc. And now this is the final taste test. So here we go. Now you see it's still filtering in there, but it's not a problem. You can still pour it. It doesn't go everywhere. And there is a pretty good seal, like I said before. Very minimal drip on there, so that's pretty good. And for £5, what a bargain. As you can see, as before, the water is actually, I'm not sure if it's getting clearer, but it's super, super clear. Even looking through here, it just looks amazing. It just looks so nice, clear, clean and crisp. So let's try it. That tastes like water, which is weird, because water tastes weird when it's filtered and hasn't got all the other sort of nasties in it. We get so used to kind of, I hate to say it, contaminated water, that when you drink actual real water that is completely kind of got all the stuff taken out, it just tastes odd and it takes a little while to get used to. But I would imagine this would be absolutely perfect in kind of fruit juices, or even to make tea with. To make a cup of tea, a really nice posh cup of tea with tea leaves and all that kind of stuff, this would be amazing, and you'd get a really great cup of tea out of it. So that is pretty much everything that I wanted to say on this video. It's been a really weird video. It kind of, Brita Marella's seems to be my my sort of kryptonite, and they do make my videos go horribly wrong for some reason. But hopefully it's not been too bad, and hopefully you've enjoyed it, and hopefully I've answered a lot of the questions that you may have or have had regarding these water filters. So in summary, what do I think? Well, as I thought before, it's a great product, it's a great idea, and if you want to drink healthy, clean water, then you can't go too far wrong. The availability of the filters in most supermarkets is a bonus, so if you do run out of filters, you can pick them up in your local Tesco's, Asda, Argos, all the kind of places like that keep them. Amazon as well, obviously, so if you want to kind of have a save and buy, or whatever they call it on Amazon, have a regular supply of them, then you can subscribe to them and then get them sent every month or every couple of months, so you've got a regular supply of the filters in your cupboard. So yeah, it's a great idea. It'll give you nice, clean, fresh water, good for you, good for your family, and that's pretty much it really. I can't really say much more about it. So this has been the Brita Marella water filter. I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.